What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly anime review of Shomin Sample. The first half, or majority of this episode, I guess you could consider this a Hakuwa episode. And I guess you could take it how you leave it. You could either say that's a bad thing, or you could say that's a good thing. Personally, I felt like this episode was very adorable for the reasons of how our main male character, Kimito, was kind of taking care of Hakuwa as like a daughter. It really goes to show you a side of our main male character that we really haven't seen much of, and to see how he was looking at Hakuwa as just a little daughter, caring for her, feeding her, and just watching over, doing riddles with her, playing games and stuff. It really just goes to show you what the relationship is between Hakuwa and Kimito, and I like to see more stuff like that, just the relationship, just because of how cute it was, and we don't really usually have many series nowadays that really focus around, like, you know, a dad watching over a daughter, and so to see something like this, I was like, that's pretty cute. So the first half of the episode, there's not really much to discuss. It really, all of it is about is just Hakuwa being cute, and then, you know, Kimito watching over, feeding her, and how she's constantly around him, and then, you know, doing the riddle thing, which goes to show you how intelligent Hakuwa is, which is pretty funny because the comedy of that scene is that Hakuwa is so intelligent that she doesn't put her mindset on a lower level to think of the simpler things, and that's kind of what caused it to where she fucked up with the riddles with Kimito, and she couldn't figure out what the riddles meant. Even I guess I'm simple like that. Even I got the riddles when it was being said in this episode, and when I saw Hakuwa, you know, that has this great mind, and she's able to do all these mathematical problems and stuff, I was thinking, like, she's gonna have this like nothing. Well, we come to find out, no, she did not have it, because, well, for the main reason is that she was thinking so up there, like, she's like, oh, it would lose people, it would lose parts of the car, you know, different things like that, dark shit. So yeah, I mean, the first half, it's okay. I mean, it's Hakuwa stuff, and I mean, depending on how you take it, you might like it, you might hate it, but that kind of segues into the second half of the episode, which focuses around Hakuwa kind of being accepted by everybody else. All the other girls, the main girls of the series, they start to interact with Hakuwa, and, you know, our main male character, Kimito, is not really a part of this episode quite a bit, actually. I mean, he's in it for maybe a little bit of the first half, and then he's kind of just absent for the remainder of it, and he only pops up a few times throughout the episode. So mainly, this was, like I said, just a Hakuwa episode, or for our main female characters just to get the spotlight of this episode, and interact with Hakuwa and see how she is without Kimito. So the second half, it starts off to where Hakuwa, she comes to the room to, you know, come spend time with Kimito, or her father, I guess we can consider that, and she finds out that Kimito isn't there, and she was going to leave, but thanks to everybody else talking to her, she decides to stay and then spend time with them. So we get to see Hakuwa's daily life, of how she interacts with her maids or anyone else, like how she eats, she has a certain time frame to eat, and then how she does her work, alongside of just being very silent and not really talking to anyone at all. We get to see this type of side of her, which goes to show you another side of her character that we've heard about, but never really seen that much. So it goes to show you how different Hakuwa is to Kimito compared to everyone else, which we do see signs of Hakuwa opening up to everybody at the later part of this episode, when she's like, oh, they're my friends, and then she gets up and walks away. So, I mean, she's opening up, and she does think of them to be friends, but for now, I think the only reason why she really cares for, you know, Kimito is because she's probably having a mini crush on him, because we do get to see a little pillow that's the same shape as Kimito, so that's pretty damn adorable. So, moving on past that, we go into a scene with Reiko and our other main female character. They just start interacting, which leads into an awkward situation, because as we know with last week's episode, there was an entire conflict between these two characters where they were kind of hating on each other, and then with this episode, we were assuming it probably would carry over, which it did and didn't. It wasn't that extreme, actually. I'm really happy that the conflict from last week's episode didn't carry over into this episode. I mean, it was slightly there, but it wasn't so obvious to where it just, you know, killed the episode and added more pointless drama just to have comedy. And so, I like the scenes to where that Yuri scene, that fucking Yuri scene, like, whoa. Was that a reference to an anime? I think it was, because there was a manga on the table, and I think that was a reference to that series. I don't know, though, because the way Kimito he came into the room, like, his facial reaction was just the best thing of this episode. He comes into the room, his eyes are just, like, blank, like, he's, what the fuck am I seeing? Like, that's what he's looking like, and he sees these two, and he misunderstands, I think they're probably doing some form of Yuri sex, and he's like, he just leaves. Like, he looks at the manga, and then he leaves. So I'm assuming that manga is some form of Yuri manga. So, what reference was that? Because I haven't seen that series, and I know there's many series I haven't seen. So if anyone knows that reference, please let me know in the comments below. But that's about it. I mean, this episode of Shomin Sample was pretty good. I enjoyed it, but it was slow in some ways. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Please be safe. Chibi out.